Mic check, mic check. Yo, what's up? What is good? All right. I might have to end stream already because I gotta go get some furniture. Sunday being the only day off. Uh, the only day you get to do household chores. All right, so we're trying multi-streaming, and as of right now, we're live on Kick, TikTok Vertical, Twitch, YouTube, and YouTube Vertical. But what I didn't like is, and I'm using Streamlabs, the multi-stream, but the CPU usage, which I thought wouldn't be that high, was up to about 36%, and it gave me a warning saying that my CPU usage was high. So I don't know what that means as far as gaming and multi-streaming. Could probably just chat and then probably take TikTok out, and that'll probably bring down the CPU usage. The vertical, I think, might be what it is that's requiring more system resources. I'm not really sure. Not happy about it because you got to pay for Streamlabs, and I'm paying for you to, distribute to the platform so that it's not as taxing on my system. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. It's where we're at. I'm gonna look up better options to see if I can do something different to multi-stream. I don't really do it that often anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. This is all new to me. I'm just starting out. I'm just a novice in the game, so yeah. So I wanted to look at the pro hubs for the finals. They played yesterday. I didn't get to watch, so I don't know how anybody did. I don't even know the teams that were playing. I'm pretty sure it was the same teams that played on Wednesday. Let me take a look at that. That's kind of the plan. I don't think I'm gonna game because I have to leave to go pick up furniture. I might go live when I come back, but we'll see how it plays out. And what else? I got the multi-chat up. Got the multi-chat working. So now you can see, or at least I can see. Like if you're on Twitch, you're only going to see Twitch. If you're on YouTube, you're only going to see YouTube, TikTok, Kick. But I see it all. Now on the main screen, like on the vertical, if you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, you can see it'll identify and you can see everyone but TikTok, it looks like. I'm not sure if you could see the vertical on YouTube. I would assume you can. Let's see. I don't know. I'm running at about 19% CPU now, so it did go down, but it spikes every now and then, which not a fan of. No, not cool. It's just with Streamlabs before I was running at about, and that's with YouTube and Twitch running horizontal. It was like 7 to 8% CPU usage. It shouldn't be an issue if I'm playing a game that's like GPU, heavy. Should be fine. But a game like a finals that's CPU dominant, that's a problem. But let's check
Keep his teammate
out.
alive and at a healthy number. Again, nobody.
Of course, I have commercials. Terrible. Horrible. Need to sub. Somebody gift me a sub. I mean, this is a stream from yesterday, so.
Has died yet though, so a lot of stuff is happening. Epi's gonna find one, and there we go. Twink is gonna find one as well on Llama, leaving Spawns all by himself. The little light that could, and he has
so we
been
got
spotted out. And
fourth party crash box.
As well.
Looks like
so
Appo's not playing though.
Here, and there's not gonna be any
Team Retwist, Team Ed. Lamp graduating and normalized. That's a nasty team right there.
That was a wildfire. We're gonna see Team Ed.
I mean, all these teams are nasty, honestly.
But going back to that one fight,
and then
I truly thought fourth party Cashbox should have, or Team Retwist should have won that. They had such a good stall, and they got a great RPG value there. But unfortunately, that sword was just a little bit too sneaky, getting in some big damage hits.
I wish they had in the HUD. They have their gadgets.
Cashbox, but it looks like they're going to look to disengage as Team Ed
but I don't know who I'm watching.
Get Vault 5.
Right? Does it say?
They're going to be contested by fourth party Cashbox.
I think they need to add the out graduating in the bottom right.
Three teams on this one vault here, so it's going to be a
I see
crazy
it. Yeah.
fight. We may
it has
see
a little
one
arrow
of these teams back out and go for Vault 6
next to the person you're
does
watching. Okay, that's cool.
That way, whereas now we're going to be going into a fight with Team Retwist.
Yep, and it looks
so
like
Team Ed dominating.
Team Ed are the ones who did back off.
I think Wednesday they won all 5 of their matches.
They're in first right now, and they kind of have the most to lose to something RNG related. And when you have 3 teams involved, there's always going to be a bit of RNG related. But Grad with that 93R absolutely shredding. I can't wait to get a look at this scoreboard after. But just like that, Lamp is going to hand off the play action fake over to Grad. He's going to run this money over to A. Get a quick plug. Takes a couple of shots, but nothing too serious. And they're going to get another 4,000 for that plug and split themselves even more from that last place position, kind of just separating that gap, putting fourth party in a bad spot. We do have a lot of carnage and a lot of deaths taking place now as Brutal Logic,
Off Keys eliminated, and fourth party Crash Box is about to go out.
Wipe for Team Ed. Off Key going down.
Team Ed just
not dying. I can't wait to see this scoreboard after. So a huge winch.
Yeah, that's a huge win. Brutal Logic.
Looks like all the heavies are playing winch.
Gets killed because Llama comes around that corner. So
I like playing Mesh Shield. I just don't have a lot of experience on winch.
Kind of determine how these players play for their placements. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Team Off Key gets the spawn on B over here, and they're going to be going in. This means they're going to be playing for a second place if they do go for this point.
Yeah, as you said, they will not overtake first, so an interesting decision.
Man, poor fourth party.
I don't know exactly how I feel about it. Maybe we could touch on this after the fact, because right now we do have an engagement that is probably going to take place in a short period of time here. Retwist trying to do their best to hold on here. Not only do they need to hold on, but they are banking on Team Ed losing their box as well.
Fourth party Cashbox is making their way over. Nobody wants to contest Team Ed on that courtyard point. That thing is almost impossible to take. We're going to be going with Offkey, going to eat a big RPG. Epi goes down. Wrist is going to get a little bit of a reset potentially, but Marshy gets that Epi back up, and Epi
and Offkey is
Offkey short
done.
HP here. And let's see if Epi be able to get away and make the reset.
Respawn on Spawns.
Fights against Team
Llama
Retwist.
and Brendy.
We see Cartoons go down,
team
Brutal Logic go down, Brendy gets sorted, and Epi,
Llama one shot, Llama's gone.
Fully down, and now it's just Team L's versus Spawns. Fourth party Cashbox versus Retwist. This is an important reset, but Spawns does get that finish on the way of Team L's, and it looks like
Team Ed, baby.
Ed takes first, Retwist takes second.
Crazy.
Just as you said,
crazy.
You're totally right with that courtyard box. However, to just
light, medium, heavy is definitely still the meta. Medium playing DMAT, of course. Heavy doing winch work.
Kind of crazy. They're already strides ahead, even after just one play day. They were 160 plus points ahead of second place after day one. and you're just handing them another 100
Be right
points. In
back.
my opinion, you at least got to try, because at the end of the day, that box didn't flip hands out of Team Retwist anyway. So I think the gamble would have been worth it. But looking at this scoreboard, man, Grad 8-4-2, like they just weren't dying. They just were not dying on Team Ed.
Yeah, and the scoreboard kind of tells everything here. Like you said, not dying, really taking the first place. I do think, going back to that courtyard point, I do think the smart choice was probably to go third party, that indoor point. Honestly, like, being able to flip that point out in the courtyard when they've probably manipulated the point, winch it out into the open, it's almost impossible to take that point. You have to pray they make a mistake to even have an opportunity, in my opinion. So I do think the smarter choice was to go potentially third party that last point, hopefully play for that second place, because Team Ed just had such a dominant performance and position on that courtyard point. So it's going to be relatively interesting to see how people make their adjustments going into Bernal. And what do you think these bottom two teams kind of need to focus on to make their play back into the runnings here?
I'm not quite sure. It's still so early in the season. I only played day 2, and a lot of these teams are new faces and still feeling each other out as far as each pool's meta is going to go. Because again, we're seeing a sword in this pool. We're probably not going to see a sword in Group B. So we're constantly seeing new things that these players have to adjust to. I think they really just need to focus on the fundamentals. It's going to sound cliche, but just work on your comms, stay together. Don't make silly decisions. And I think they may need to be just a bit faster. Those fights were taking a little too long to draw out for my liking. I'd like to see a bit more urgency for these bottom two teams.
Make an adjustment with this hat.
There's definitely a good point in playing your advantages.
We had a sword in that one?
Really go in on your advantages. We saw a few times when Team Retwist had a huge RPG, and unfortunately, they all just dropped down to follow up. Over on the other side of the map, going to be looking to rotate with this.
Twist is already out.
We're going to see Risk get some
the infuser people are using
on the way of him.
Watching Epi on off key.
The H infuser.
Yeah, I'm liking this. We're only seeing one mesh shield still in this lobby, by the way, and that is in the hands of Lamp. Everybody else has adopted.
Damn, that infuser is so good.
A winch and a sword on the same
I
team.
mean, full health. Didn't matter he was getting shot.
It's going to be crazy. We'll probably see a manipulated cash.
It's probably going to get nerfed, I would think.
That's what I would like to see. And maybe
to some degree, maybe make the mag bigger, but not as fast, not as much heals per shot.
The AC unit. Just trying to find
or
some
make the mag
eyes, trying to
smaller.
get some information here, but Team Ed stalling beautifully, not even really
like if you're
their location. However,
like it can heal
a bit far off
50%.
So need a quick recovery here, as we do see Offkey going for a steal. Team Ed a little bit late to the party. Gas is going off, but the heals
on a heavy. But if you know, if you do 3/4, it doesn't heal them all the way.
Lamp with 1, Lamp with 2, shutting down.
I don't know if it works like that now, but
Offkey, great defense out of Team Ed.
Yeah, and on the other side of the map, we're going to see some crazy fight break out between fourth party Cashbox and Team Retwist. We have Retwist on the defensive, and they're going to be taking some big hits on spawns. Going to need to
my CPU usage is up to 40%. So definitely not going to be doable for gaming, but for just chatting and
that RPG whiffs, however.
bullshit,
Team does drop to Llama. And now we're going to see Cartoons drop, and it's just brutal logic.
I mean, I'll have to try it gaming. I think that with the CPU usage getting near 50%, it's not worth using Streamlabs.
Body to reset.
Then again, I don't have the best computer, honestly.
Yeah, Brutal Logic doesn't really
I have the 98
here, and I think he just accepted
9800 XD
team wipe there. Not
or X3D.
Much at all. That
3D, but I haven't put it in yet because I need to get a new motherboard.
Your mag, even if you get your 1, you're gonna get traded out in lobbies like this. We do see Team Ed, they are just looking dominant, man. We didn't even see what happened, but their plug that Cashbox is knocked over, I believe to be a C4 underneath it.
Yeah.
So they're protecting that C4 from any outside explosives. They got the stall in place.
And one thing to note here, whoever wins this cash box that Team Ed has current control of, that's going to be a fantastic time to control the pace
nasty.
of the game. With this
Llama's
fight breaking out
destroying
over
people right now.
See Team Retwist take that relatively easily against Team Offkey. They're going to have to
Fucking
get
them
this
up.
plug, and if they want to get pace back, they might even want to go fight Team Ed on this third party. Fourth party cash box is going to be coming in, forcing that drop, and we're going to see a fantastic kite come the way of Team Ed.
Yeah, this is looking like a pretty ugly stagger, and it has actually been staggered. Huge RBG coming in from Lamp, but actually not as much damage as you would have thought. Nobody has fallen quite yet, as that heal is just insane. Mills is going to fall,
Team
but so
Ed's
does
down
Lamp
one.
on the
Fourth
trade. Partones is
party's
going to fall as
done.
well. Lamp's going to get rezzed. Brad with another one. He can't be stopped. He's making a case for MVP of the season right now, as far as I'm concerned. Looking fantastic this week. Fantastic last week, or this play day versus last play day. But across the map, we have Team Retwist.
Space and reset on normalize as they rotate away.
Yeah, they are on this rotate. That mesh shield doing what it does best, something that these winch claws cannot do. He's just providing fantastic cover. They're going to find a lucky blueberry as well, but not stick around long enough to actually reap the benefits of it. Lamp is going to fall to Brendy, so Brendy finds one. Looks like Offkey is in possession of this $18,000 box. Llama looking for one on Normalize. He's going to find that as well. Lamp was res, but he's probably going to get taken out immediately, leaving Grad all by
Team
himself.
Ed
But if
graduating is the last one left alive, the
especially
light.
with that 93R in his hands, we
But
are going to see a
they're firmly in first
over at
place.
Cash Out B, and that one's going to belong to
With about 2 minutes
Cashbox. Spawns also using the 93R. Not quite making it look just the same as Grad, but he is putting out some solid damage here. And right now, we just need to see Team Retwist regain and regroup, as they do have possession of this box. They can take first place as long as things stay exactly as they are right now. Spawns
Yeah, I know
finds
on
Brutal after Brutal found
TikTok
Brendan.
and
Spawns just needs to stay alive
YouTube
here,
Vertical,
and I
y'all
don't
can't
think they
see
need to be
the
forcing as much as they are.
teams and where they're at.
Yeah,
but
Llama and Spawn's looking
Team
for a
Ed is
reset.
in
They
first
do get
place
Brendy
with
back
Lamp
up, and if I
graduating
were
and
Offkey,
Normalize.
I would leave their point,
Second place
which
is
kind of
fourth
putting the whole
fourth
Llama
party
in a tough
crash
position,
box,
because Team
which
Ed
is
might be over there fighting that. But if I'm
nice for them,
Offkey,
but they
you
don't
need
have the
to be
cash
fighting
out right
for
now.
that second
Retwist and
place.
Offkey have the cash outs.
That third place,
Offkey
even at
is
this
only got
point, you need to
3,500.
get
They're in
ahead
last and they
because
just got wiped.
You're basically guaranteed to get last.
With only a
This
minute
box
left.
does absolutely nothing for Offkey unless they're able to pair this with another one, but they got wiped and are being stolen from anyway, which is going
And
to
then
shake
Ed just
things
stole
up for
from
Team Retwist.
Offkey that just got
Ed
wiped,
is
so
the one that took
Offkey
it.
is
So we do have
pretty
Fourth
much
Party
cooked.
trying to find the entries, trying to get the steal here. But it's not even going to matter because nobody is passing Team Ed. This again.
And then
is
Retwist is going to
second
jump
place.
fourth party
We do
right
have
now
Llama in a
because
one-on-one with
fourth party
Brutal
just
Logic.
got
He's gonna win that one.
eliminated.
Spawns won his as well. Fourth party does get wiped, but Grad shows up. If they cause some disruption here, this could be absolutely backbreaking for Team Retwist. They are being stolen from. Only 2
And my
alive
arm's
left for
sore
Retwist. I don't know
as
if anyone's in
fuck.
position for the stop. Nobody is.
And Team Ed takes
Ed
that.
gets
What?
it.
Team Ed,
is taking
Jesus.
everyone's lunch money today, and they're going to show everyone why they deserve that 5 games from the other day. They're going to maybe start some momentum going into this, so I don't think there's any chance for anyone to take this.
Yeah, they
It's
got
going
it.
to clean up and get those kills to pad their stats.
So, I mean, Team Ed is looking
This, I think, deserving a squad.
Dash trap to stuff when
Winch I think it's can be the model.
come out from sighting weapon to see, but feels a lot more balanced and in place. But
Fortune Stadium.
nevertheless, we are getting started here on map number
So they
3 of our
did
Group A.
Burn
We're gonna
Now.
have a couple of early fights going on. Brendy still
I
on
don't
the
remember what
Famas.
the
Love
first
to see
map
that.
was.
Thank you, Burrito. Goated camera work.
Who's the first?
We have Team Retwist and Team Ed.
Was
See with the swap out is end the team.
Okay,
of
so
Fourth
it's
Party
Sis,
Cashbox, as they're gonna
Burnell,
have their
and
first
now,
engagement. Team Ed is looking scary. They're looking like cash
Kill be a little by the team.
Fortune Stadium.
But-
So
to the map. They love 2 seconds.
Made that at close range be a little bit.
Brendy we've been to see, but feels a lot more balanced and in place. But nevertheless, we are getting started here on map number 3 of our Group A. We're going to have a couple of early fights going on. Brendy still on the FAMAS. Love to see that. Thank you, Burrito. Goated camera work. But we have Team Retwist and Team Ed fighting over this vault number 2, which means fourth party Cashbox and Off Key are going to be duking it out across the map. We do see a delayed gateway come in. That is a smart move, kind of just avoiding any possibility of it getting glitched. We do see Spawns maybe trying to call a bit of an audible here, trying to go over to A if they have the time to do it. It's an aggressive play, but I do like it. That is definitely the harder one to push and the better one to defend if you are on the
Yeah, they went out of their way to get this one, but
play out of Spawns
nice.
because we did see Llama and Brendy all the way off the map, so that was 100%
Good play on Retwist.
Across the map, though, we do
getting
have
pushed,
some
though, by
T-Mills is finding res,
T-Med.
and he's finding picks as well with that
T-Med
pike.
is nasty.
Somewhat of a pike specialist, if you will. Spawns in a one-on-one against
Nice.
Brad, and he's actually going to win that one with that 93R, so nice to see that. Normalize does take
Nope.
out Llama. Normalize also takes
Retwist
out
is
Spawns,
done.
and somebody else took out Brendy, so I'm going to eat my words a little bit here as it looks like a pretty easy flip for Team Ed, but I do still like that play out of Spawns.
Yeah, it looked like Brad got a little bit too much value before he was able to get picked off by Spawns. Spawns had a good peel, but it was just
I don't know what
slightly a little bit
my,
too late there. But now we're
Yeah,
going
it
to be
looks like
going
it's pretty
ahead
good.
with this next cash box. The points aren't terribly staggered. They're all the way across the map, so it's not going to be much opportunity to go from point to point. We're going to be knocking this thing out, and now we're going to be going into an engagement versus Off Key, using that pike to his advantage. Not going to be able to hit much shots there, just taking a little bit of damage, as we do see Cartones go directly in there and it dying very quickly into a 3v1. T-Mills trying to make some good comeback from that death as we see some great shots come the way of him. And
that pike is just so nasty right now.
Rotate out of here. You played that position pretty well. Now time to rotate.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to keep kiting, keep them guessing as well. It does look like Twink actually has a pretty solid position as Epi finds another one with the sword. So the sword proving to be a bit of a disruption here. Teams not exactly accustomed to dealing with that. We are going to see an attempted flip as well from Epi, aggressive, being the light.
I got to fix my vertical.
He doesn't get the kill, but he puts out enough damage for Twink and risks to get those kills. And fourth party Cashbox is going to get wiped. So a really nice take out of Off Key here, and a bit of a sign of life. We do have Brendy giving some back shots right now to Team Ed. There's not a lot of time to work with, and just like that, Team Ed flips the script. 2 out of Lamp, 1 out of Normalize, and that is going to be another reset for Team Retwist. So I think both of these boxes are going to end up in the hands of their current holders.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. There's still some time over on Off Key, over on point B to maybe get a flip, but everyone spawned relatively far away. Fourth party Cashbox making their way over. They're going to have to make a Hail Mary play on this point, but with it being so far out in the open, it's going to be very tough to close off those lines of sights. You have a sword going to be going in there for a multi-hit and everything, so they're going to have to throw their Hail Mary out there. Going to get these goos out. There is some mines on the point. Going to winch it over with that pad. Tino's getting a good setup there. Taking some damage, though, and you're going to have to hop it as soon as you can. That goo blocks the line of sight, and that gas goes off. Epi does get taken out. Marshy also going down. And on the other side of the map, we see a fight break out between Team Retwist and Team Ed. And it's going to go lookingly in the way of Team Retwist as Graduating looks for a reset.
Yeah, Grad's got to take his time here, and if you're Team
Alright, so Team Ed's in first place. Retwist has second with 13,000, just under Team Ed's 14,500.
This as Vault 3 is
but
about
they
to
are
get
eliminated,
Vault 4
so
hasn't even been tapped yet. So we're looking at a minimum of a 30-second difference here, as it takes about 20 seconds for that vault.
Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't Retwist, that was Off Key.
Really good
the colors are very similar.
If you are Team Retwist,
Retwist just deposited.
Are actually going to be switching things up and just going over to 4. So an interesting choice. Nobody on the contest. I feel like you would have the reverse logic here, as you'd want to go to that box that's finishing first. We do see a double barrel in hand of somebody as well, but Brutal Logic is going to find one on Lamp. Nice shots out of Brutal. Cartone is doing his best to stay alive. He is the demon with the double barrel in hand. He does get one pump off, but
double barrel,
enough.
Man, that thing is nasty.
Going to fall to Epi and the sword yet again. Brutal finding another one, as does Mills. That's going to be a wipe for Off Key, and as well as a wipe for Team Ed.
Yeah, and I think these teams had a good idea of coming over here. If they knew if as long as they got the plug and not having that white bonus in this match, they're going to be able to get a little bit of an advantage, because if Team Ed allowed off key to get this plug, they would have had an easier time to flip over that first place. But now we're going to be seeing, with that wipe, enough time to make a 1 minute push over on the way of Retwist. We have Team Ed coming in full force. And if I was Team Retwist with the performance Team Ed is having, I'd be a little bit nervous here.
Yeah, Team Ed is looking intimidating. You touched on it at the end of last game. Teams are actually looking afraid, and I do think that's a real thing. I think teams were afraid of Bricked last season. I think teams might be afraid of Ed early on this season. We do have Normalized. He's going to just destroy those C4s. The beautiful glitch is, I guess, going to nullify it, so it's not going to get dropped. The winch as well, in case we did have any C4s underneath, that'll nullify them. But we have a nice drop. The steal does get stuck, at least for the time being. Normalized hop back on, but he is going to hop off. Nobody has quite yet fallen. This is great if your team Retwist. All you need to do is stay alive as long as you possibly can. A crazy stick off that jump pad, but now we have the box falling 4 or 5 levels. Again, we see a hop, but we have quickly run out of time. A beautiful kite, a beautiful stall at a team Retwist, and I think that's just what happens. They did have about a minute on that push, but I think that's just what happens when things collapse and things start to get forced.
Tight. For that teammate, get some good shots. Cartones to get this stall. He's going to be
Retwist is in first.
By that teammate.
With about a minute 45 left.
Forced attempt
Fourth party eliminated and about to get stolen from.
Cartones does get down, and it looks like they're going to get it. Epi comes in to try and stop them, and we're going to see Retwist win this point, coming all the way over from the other side of the map, forcing that and fighting off.
So with a minute 25 left,
winning that one. So now
off key is eliminated, fourth party is eliminated, about to spawn back in, and Ed is in second with the cash with 2 minutes left.
It's going to be extremely important for them to break away from Team Ed chasing them.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a vital miss of the goo barrel out of Epi there. I'm not sure if that was a tactical miss or not.
I like that play where you throw the goo right on the edge of the jump pad so they can't use the jump pad to get up.
Have the potential to take first place, at least as things are standing right now. But great stuff out of Team Retwist. Potentially can be the first team to hand Team Ed their second place or worse finish.
Yeah.
Some nice shots coming in from Brandy on Cartones. Mills is going to find that fast res though, but Spawns and Llama are going to find theirs. Epi's going to take out Spawns. I think as long as Retwist, I'm seeing a flip. Huge shots in on Epi, so honestly,
Team Ed is in trouble.
Team Retwist a bit of a favor here. Brandy now returning the favor is going to take
out fourth party's eliminated, off key's eliminated.
Going on. Spawns is going to find one as well. Normalized
fourth party just spawned back in.
Off key is wiped and out of the lobby, at least for the time.
It looks like Retwist and Ed are going to get this.
And
about 60 seconds left.
One thing we're seeing, we're going to see fourth party Cashbox go and try and take the point of Team Ed. Nobody's even over there defending it, so getting this flip could actually put them in second place and Team Ed in last. If we see
Team Ed got eliminated. I didn't even see that.
They're going to have a great
and they're going to lose the cash box.
And now Team Ed might be stuck in third place here.
Third match of the day, and
that's exactly what it's
they're going to probably finish third.
Left on the spawn, they would have to traverse the map in less than 12 seconds to actually get the steal. So it's looking like for the first time,
they're not invincible. I mean, pretty damn close though.
And it looks like Team Retwist is going to take a first place finish here, as an attempted steal has gone into play, but I don't think there's enough time on it. There's one more attempt. Again, I don't think they had enough time on that one anyway, as Team Retwist wants out of there with 60.
Let's go Retwist.
Yeah, and
let's
I
go
think
Llama.
That was just Team Ed feeling themselves just a little bit coming out hot off of those second and a little bit being able to steal that would have been a little bit tough.
Back-to-back 1 kill games.
Yeah, and just a quick
Marshy
Epi had 12 kills there. Epi
Marshy that wing.
Everything he can in the slang department.
Or Marshy the twink. Sorry, I can't read.
Every once in a while,
those quarter end we see a little bit less with the DMAC.
Now we're going to Vegas, so we got to be finishing on Cathedral, right? Or no, Monaco.
Strategies arise, but
I think I heard them say Monaco.
Heading over to Vault 1. This is looking like an off-key versus Team Retwist fight over here. Meaning we got Team Ed.
Oh, fucking commercials, man. I do want to see Bricked play. 'Cause I feel like
You know, they say that AI is the future, but Apartments.com has been using apartmental intelligence for many years with Carl here. Describe your perfect apartment because Carl is listening.
2-bed, 2-bath, AC.
Okay.
A barbecue pit, maybe a microwave on top of the stove. A pool. Did I say a pool?
Oh, somebody's going to party. Think of it. Think of it.
That's it. That's exactly what I wanted.
Apartments.com, the place to find a place. Ooh.
Why GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco? From the basics like maintenance and repair parts.
all right,
to power
come on.
components.
It's because it's
Genuine
fucking
Parts and
Twitch,
AC
man.
Delco are the true
If I was like Pro Hubs, I would just stream this stuff on Kick, man. No commercials. You're good.
only aftermarket
You know what I
parts
mean?
by GM. Those in the know
I know I shouldn't say that because I'm live on fucking Twitch, but and I get that we need advertisements, but come on, man. There's got to be a better way, right?
And fourth party duking it out across the map. We do see Off-Key playing inside, kind of forcing the hand of Team Retwist, and Retwist growing a bit impatient, forcing the engagement here. Not completely necessary in my opinion. We're going to see a quick res as Llama passes over.
Yeah,
that
I don't know if
trophy,
anybody knows, but
Brendy
I'm
will
wondering
get
if
the
I have
defib
high
on spots.
CPU
We are
usage
actually
because of
gonna
the
see
vertical
Epi find
streams.
one as
Because
well
I have
on
2 of them
spots.
going
Llama
on
with the
YouTube and
whack,
TikTok.
taking
So
out Twink, but Epi with the sword is absolutely causing mayhem. Brendy now in a one-on-one scenario against Rist. It is looking like he has a trophy in hand, so we can get a quick revive, hopefully. But instead, an engagement ensues. Oh my
Going
goodness,
down to 1
Brendy
HP. That was
absolutely
crazy.
smokes Rist. Had no business winning that fight. Point blank range against a shotgun and 100 less health. Brendy, you're an absolute animal.
Yeah, see, this is one of the staple setups that you do see Team Ed going to be pulling this point out, dematting it out, and winching it.
I don't know. I'll have to do a test and see without vertical running if
I do think the parking garage is a fantastic point
that
to
comes
drop
down
this
at
point
all.
down into to really promote those long line of sight, so
for
you
now.
don't have to commit too hard onto these forced points. That fourth party cash box might be looking for going to demat this down and break that C4, and now that thing is on the first floor of the garage as they look to force Team Ed into a fight.
Yeah, that's the thing with holding that top hotel building there, as we do see a force steal taking place and Team Ed is going to collapse. It's really only valid until that box gets dropped for that first time, which happens so fast. Normalize finds Mills, Logic finds Lamp, and Normalize is going to res Lamp like clockwork. Grad is going to find Cartones, and rinse, repeat. Team Ed is going to wipe fourth party cash box. I mean, how many times already today have we said that same sentence?
I mean, that's such a
Yeah, I
nasty
think
team. So
we
so
do
is
see
Retwist. You got
fourth-party cash box
Retwist is
doing
Llama,
relatively
Brendy,
well in
and
their
Spawns. I'm
positioning.
not familiar
I
with
think
Spawns,
Cartons
but
is doing
he's
a fantastic
you know,
job getting
been
those
playing
glitches
well.
and looking for those heals.
except for
But
this
I think
match so
he's
far.
a little bit late to the party generally.
He's the light
for
on
his team on the
Retwist. And then you
damage
got Lamp
department,
graduating
and sort of lacking there. I
and,
do like his ability to
Normalize
get those glitches off and help his team there.
on
But he needs to
Team
be
Ed,
in there
and
a
that's
little
just
bit
a
more
nasty
aggressive
team.
to support his team.
Yes, I
Those guys have been at the
completely
top
agree.
for a
We do see
minute.
fourth-party cash box coming quickly off spawn, and it looks like they're going to go for a different approach here.
Still
Checking
nobody
out
better than my
Cash
boy
RA.
Virtual, though.
Is
Best
about
light in the
halfway
game.
progressed. They're just going to need to look
He's
for
coming.
a different look here, if you will. It looks like
Y'all just
Mills has
wait.
already entered onto the first floor. Make that Cartones. Mills and Brutal Logic are playing a little bit of a two-man game. Again, just trying to scout out some information here. Cartones directly above. So this defined two. He might not have it. I don't, unfortunately, not able to get out with that one.
Yeah,
Alright,
fourth party
Team
cash
Ed
box
got
coming in to go
the
for
first
some of
cash
those kills.
box.
I don't think they had much of an
Retwist got
opportunity at this
the
point. They're going to be looking
second
Team Ed's at
first
1
cash
HP.
box.
Carton's
So we're
gonna
on
be
3 and 4 right now.
not going to be able to get that reset because we're going to see this team just sit on Brutal Logic's body as we get the taps on both points, and we're going to see Team Ed over in the other side of the map get that plug in over on Vault, cash out C. Now we see Cartons look for the reset. He has plenty of pressure around him, but on the other side of the map, we see Team Ed taking some huge damage from Team Retwist. Team Retwist looks like they're going to be going down to that fight. Brendy spawns dropping as Team Ed stays up and healthy, getting those heals out. I'm sure Grad's doing a fantastic job over there at helping his team wipe Team Retwist.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like a pretty convincing fight if all the information we had was those health bars on this T-Mills alive. And it looks like Off-Key is just kind of getting out of there anyway. They're going to reposition, get set up, because we haven't had much time or seen a lot of true setups, at least in this match. It's been a lot of instant action, instant plugs. Llama's going to miss his winch there, but he's going to get counter winched from Lamp. As you pointed out, Lamp is on the winch claw. He's going to fall as well, so we have a 2v2 Grad and Normalize against Brendy and Spawns, but Llama's going to get res. Brendy's such a good medium, always right on his heavy, always right there for the revives, and just on the other side as well, Grad is going to get the hand res on Lamp. So we have two fully stacked teams yet again. This cash out C is manipulated into the middle of the streets. Not exactly something you want to see if you are anybody trying to push that. Llama trying to get a pick here, but instead Grad's going to find one, and so is Lamp. Brendy's going to get one, and actually this could be kind of winnable if he plays his life well. Both players from Team Ed are low. Lamp may get wiped here as well. Brendy's just got to slow it down, go for a reset. Fourth party cash box is on the scene though, and there's
Team Ed eliminated, and they're getting stolen from.
It's going to be fourth party.
And fourth party. All right, let's go.
Team Retwist did. They're going to need to go across the map, as it does look exactly like that. Team Ed,
I'd like to see fourth party do well.
Over on D.
Yeah, but it's
I had
not to
Apo
say
coach
that every
me
team
and
is in a good position. If we do see
me and the
Off-Key
boys
get this
a
cash
few
box,
weeks ago,
every
or
team is
I
gonna
think
be in
it's
the
been
running
a couple
for that
months now.
first, second, or third
And he was cool
place.
as shit.
So it's going to be going down to this next fight to see if they are able to get the advantage. We're going to get a ribbit coming out.
So I'd like to see them do well. I'd like to see my boy Lotus up in here. That would be cool.
He's under a little bit of distress over here.
Because I've learned the most from that kid.
Maybe not the
He's
most ideal
fucking
time
nasty
to
at this
rip that
game.
out, but
Plays
I think he might just be a showman, and that's what it's all
plays
about.
heavy
All
and
about
is probably one of the best
all
in the
about
game.
clips. Brutal Logic's actually going to find a C4 kill there on
I think he
Heavy.
filled in for one of the
Like,
teams in the
few kills in the
qualifiers.
game. You'll probably get
I'm
that
pretty
C4
sure they
win.
made
Mills
it. I
takes
haven't
out
seen
Brendy.
them play
Llama
yet.
finds Mills. Wrist finds Llama. Cartones finds Spawns. It is
I think the
absolute
team name was
mayhem in
something
the kill
round.
feed. Cartones last man alive.
But he
with
was just
440
filling
cash
in.
box. Retwist has already been
for him.
wiped. We see a res coming in, so at least Cartones has some company here. But Off-Key looking healthy, and they're looking like they're trying to cause some mayhem. Meanwhile, Team Ed's the one with the money. Team Ed's the one in first place, and Team Ed is the one in control of Cash Out B.
Yeah, and we have a good amount of time to get Vault 6 in there. It's going to take a little bit of time to open this vault up and get this in, but I do think it's going to be able to get split. I don't think any team here would want to go for the double, except potentially Team Ed to secure that second place. But if I were them, staying to your point is probably the best option. We're going to be going in. Epi's going to be looking for some damage. Going to be at 1 bar left, maybe getting in a great escape with that sword dash as Marshy looks to potentially coin in.
I'm talking to my IT guy, Virgil.
Just
Just asking him about the CPU usage.
Right in, no fear.
I don't know. Hopefully this new
having a field day with that sword.
new source meld.
I just don't think this lobby is
Streaming
really
source
prepared
meld will
to
be,
deal with such a high level
be good.
sword player. It's
Ooh,
just not something
that
you really
winch.
have to deal with. Epi somehow getting alive there, gets winched and still manages to stay alive against the SA-12 Heavy. Picking
These
up an
lights,
assist
man,
on
they can
Brady as
move.
well. Team Retwist
They can
is going
fucking
to
move.
fall. We have about 40 seconds left for something to happen with this cash box here, for them to get over 2A. That is what they do decide to do, which I think they should be doing, but it doesn't look like that's actually their game plan, or he was just going for the
Damn.
scenic route, trying to rotate around and not get cut off here. But we're going to be in a situation where this box doesn't even get plugged, and then teams are going to have like 15 seconds to actually make a play.
Yeah, I think Off-Key had the right idea. Try and stall this point and get it out
Yeah,
of there.
Team Ed
Not
just
allow it to be
dominating.
plugged. It's gonna be
They got
coming down to the wire.
27,000
If we even
with the
have
cash box
opportunity to
about
plug
to
7
finish for
seconds, 5 seconds,
18,000.
There's going to be
Next
no time
team
to get
is
this in. 3,
Drop
2,
Off-Key.
and they get that in right at the last
Wow,
second.
last
That is
second.
going to be pivotal for this entire lobby success. Off-Key not going to be able to guarantee
Fourth
second
party got
by
the
keeping
last-
that box
the
out. They're gonna have
last
to now
second
fight for this point
deposit.
as we do look for a
That's the thing I love
flip.
about this
It
game,
looks
honestly,
like
is
Team
that
Retwist is on that, getting a flip in the middle of
you could be
everybody.
down and out
now
bad.
they're in a
You know,
great
you didn't get the
position
first
to
3,
get
4
second
cash
place if
boxes, and
Off-Key doesn't
then
go for this
that
thing
last one,
instantly.
man, you get in, make something happen,
Great
get some
situa-
kills, get a couple
situational
wipes,
awareness
and
out of fourth party there, dropping that cash out because Mills knew Logic had a more direct route on the drop down from where he
And you
was
can
coming
flip
in.
the whole game, you know?
Unfortunately, though, Off-Key's going to be 2 men down, leaving their
Looks like
sword
Off-Key
as last
is
man
going to
alive.
get that last
Llama
cash
finds
box.
himself last man alive as Brendy's coming in off a coin. But that's
Retwist
gonna
is
do
down to
him
1.
no
So is
good.
Off-Key. Off-Key
Now
looks
there's
like they're
10
about to get
seconds left
eliminated.
just
And
not
Off-Key's
much
out.
is happening. We do have Off-Key wiped, but there's a chance they hold this even though they are wiped. Everybody's going to collapse. Brutal Logic taken down. Lamp doing
Wow.
everything he can to do as much damage as
Retwist
possible. He's
gets,
gonna
or
fall
no,
as
Off-Key
well.
gets it.
Team Ed is
Still
gonna
Team
take
Ed.
first place by a narrow $4,000 margin.
There's a lot
And I
going on in
do
this game.
like what Team
I
Ed
respect these
did
guys
there.
casting
They
this.
did grief the entire lobby, but they know that Off-Key is ended up at last at
Is college. I mean, like what I'm
going into the playoffs and definitely
let's go ahead all in.
I think that's really where the frustration
Look,
comes
this
in
is the
because
last
it just
game
becomes
on
overwhelmingly
Monaco. Yeah.
dominantly ranged. The mesh, which I do think is probably the best pick on this map. We're gonna have a little bit of setup potential nerfed, but we're gonna be going straight into this fight. Marshy getting taken out instantly. Usually Team Retwist is thought of having a disadvantageous spawn, but they're gonna make it work as we get those heals coming out and getting some great value on that bubble. Gonna be taking out Epi, and now Marshy getting that trade onto spawns. Marshy finally going down. Team Retwist is going to take this vault fight and earn themselves a tap.
Yeah, they definitely earned that one, and that was a lot of damage and just output that Spawns was able to provide there. So definitely the X factor of that fight, in my opinion. We do see Cartones holding top Cathedral, at least for the time being. He is going to gateway in, but that top Cathedral is one of those power positions, especially when you're not on suspended structures. Just one of those ultimate heights that is so difficult to spot out the enemies. But Cartones has been spotted out. He's running invis, so not something we are going to be seeing every day. A little bit more of an EU strat. But even EU has switched over to the dash a bit this season. So interesting to see out of Cartones. He is playing his life very well. Unfortunately, Brutal Logic has fallen. A bit of an interesting engagement that we're seeing take place within the Cathedral here. We do have Cash Out B that is plugged to the hands of Team Retwist. I believe that's at the
Alright, so
other end of the
The
Cathedral, or
CPU
just a bit
usage I might have an
beyond it.
issue
Well,
with
we
because
do
I had to
have
change the encoder for Streamlabs to software because I couldn't change the resolution to get off black screen for kick.
If they do end up winning one of these points, that's gonna be
There might be a
huge
workaround
snowball
that I'm just not
their
aware of for
momentum
that.
into the next.
So,
but we're going to be going on the other side of the map.
might
Normalize
help.
getting taken
I'll
out
have
by
to try.
T-Mills, while we have potentially a third party over on the looks of A. We have Team
All right, first
Ed,
cash box,
fourth party cash box getting
Retwist,
pushed in, Brutal Logic going down,
and Off-Key
and
both
Team
have them.
Retwist defending their cash box away. It's going to be an interesting dynamic to see. Epi
Team
now
Ed
over here
is
taking
down
out
1.
T-Mills. We're going to see a reset
And
over on the
fourth
way.
party is
Normalize,
eliminated.
Graduating, going to get that reset.
Lamp is down on
Collins
Team Ed.
going down to spawns, and now we're going to have a crazy fight about to break out. Everyone's going to be stalling so much. They want to be the last one in. A huge RPG goes down on Graduating. Graduating takes out
Graduating
Llama,
out, Lamp
making
back,
an RPG
normalize,
himself.
one
Reese's and
shot.
Trades go out. Brendy getting taken down. Normalize. getting taken
Retwist
down.
in
That's a
trouble.
1v1.
Llama's
Lamp
out.
versus
Brendy's
Llama
out.
going
Spawns
down
is
the ladder.
1.
50 HP on Llama. Spawns is still up. He's gonna have to wait and
Lamp
get the
is
coins. And
1
now we
HP
see
on
another
Team Ed.
spaghetti moment.
This is
We
close.
have Off-Key
Double
playing
double
points.
deposit for
This
Off-Key.
is wild.
Yeah, what is this
got it
lobby
double.
right now? I mean, crazy strategies coming out. Absolutely,
People trying to make
crazy
something happen here.
attempts
Get as many
to
points as
even
they
be
can for
trying
the
to do some of
season.
these Cartones trying to get those heals off as well. He's gonna find himself winched instead. Epi having an absolute field day. Risk putting out some
Oh,
damage
my
as
back,
well.
man.
Off, he's gonna hold this one, so
Yeah,
that's one down. Now they're making their way back over to their other box, which is now getting stolen. But there's potential they can hold this as well.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
Ed with a crazy stick on that steal. I don't know who exactly got it. Normalize is gonna fall, but I don't think it really matters. There's only a few seconds left for anybody to change the.
Out of the grips of Team. Fortunately for Team
So
Ed,
right
they're going to
now,
keep some of this momentum
first
going.
place is,
and now we see Off-Key going to be respawning.
Team Ed
They're going to have a good
got a couple kills
opportunity
and jumped
to
him.
contest one of these plugs if they do get a good spot.
Dude, just trying to kite away from the sword guy as he
Nice, good
does it
shots with the
successfully.
pike.
Beautiful close range shots.
That's
on the
T-Mills
pike on the
with the
rooftop
pike
there.
work.
So he gets away from the sword guy and finds a pick as well. But Epi is going to take out Cartones with that sword. It is so tough to deal with as a light. You basically just instant turn into a pile of coins. if you do get sorted. A little bit of a cheeky position here, not exactly on the roof, but the highest level of the building, peeking through the windows. They have a nice vantage point on this cash out that has been moved out into the opening of the park there. However, this has been sniffed out by Off-Key. They do know, at least relatively, what they're working with. But Fourth Party Cashbox, they know that they know that they know. And Fourth Party Cashbox has relocated yet again. They're off the scene. The kite is real, and this is beautiful defense out of Fourth Party Cashbox.
Over on the other side of the map, we're going to see some clean resets come out the way of Team Ed. It looks like we're going to see a coin come in from Llama, as we do get a huge win from Brutal Logic.
With Apartments.com capturing the hearts of hundreds of millions of renters, everybody wants the secret to our success, but they're never going to get it, will they, Craig?
No, sir.
Or the secret to the most rental listings. Not to mention our secrets for making renting easier with Matterport 3D virtual tours and online applications. Oh, this is good. Yay.
This is good. This is real good.
Apartments.com.
Bro, my back is destroyed. I've been feeling like fucking dog water.
With hotels and vacation rentals, Booking.com has something for everyone.
Seashells! You got anything more boutique?
Oui, right this way.
Now we're talking. What about something more family friendly?
Maybe a resort with a water park?
Or somewhere less family friendly?
Yep, one Vegas hotel for the bride-to-be.
What if we hate everything?
We have free cancellation. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.com.
Look at that. They got one of DirecTV's new genre packs. Genre packs. Now they can pick just the TV they want. Pick the TV they want. Yeah, now you're getting the picture.
Taking out Epi, going to try and stop that sword from being a problem now. It's going to be a 3v2 scenario going in. Hopefully they push their advantage. They should not allow Epi to coin, because that's going to offer them another opportunity to try and take. But they're just going to stay high ground and look for those beams and deny the res.
Yeah,
we got 3 minutes left.
I love this.
Team Ed
Patience is a virtue, but
in
across
first
the map,
place.
to do their as well. It does look like both several lines.
I do want to see Team Brick play a little bit before I head out.
So a beautiful hold out of Retwist, even though we see some nice fighting out of Team Ed.
Yeah, that was a fantastic hold. We do see Fourth Party Cashbox getting
Lamp leading the server
to Off-Key on last map. And we're going to be going. It's going to be relatively
now
interesting
first
to see
place
who
is
gets this plug
Retwist,
and who are able to hold this. B is
Llama,
such
Brendy,
a
and
volatile
Spawns.
point. There is no setup required.
Second is
It's
Team
already
Ed.
out in the open. This, I don't know how a team's going to take this.
Yeah, this, everyone talks about Hospital and Soul as we have a little engagement going on here. Everyone talks about the Hospital point as if you get griefed into getting it. We do see an aggressive Dome Shield, though, and the goo's going to make me eat my words.
Yeah.
As Fourth Party Cashbox gets one of the easiest steals of their life, nobody really even paying attention on it. I guess that's another way of doing it, a bit of a highway robbery. Eppies is going to take out Brendy with that sword. Spawns finds Mills. So we have
Llama now coming in to make his own attempt at stealing this. Gonna try and get it back from Fourth Party Cashbox. Off-Key does not want this flip to happen. I'm not sure why they're trying to protect the point for them. This is a fantastic goo point, but we're gonna see Cartons take the off angle and defend that. I do like that play through that goo. What a great IQ play. Now they're gonna try and destroy this, winch this thing out, and now it's gonna be way harder to steal. They're gonna have to get some great kills. Gonna look to try and clean up Cartons, but he does get away and get that reset, as Riss is going to be the last one alive on his team.
Yeah, it's a good thing Retwist wiped when they did, because they are still going to have the timing. However, if you're off-key here, Riss just has to stay alive and wait for his team to coin. You can no longer afford to wipe, in my opinion. You're just going to be SOL on the timing. We do have 2 separate boxes coming in. So first place
looks
is still
like
up for anyone's grab.
Team
However,
Ed
B,
and
not that much time left at
Fourth
all.
Party
A
are
bit
going to
more
get these
time
cash
left
boxes,
over on A
maybe.
across the map, but I'm not quite sure if there's any contention over there. We do see Riss just trying to be a little bit cheeky. He drops a goo, but he's maneuvering through smoke that I don't think he can even maneuver through. Llama and Brendy both find one. Team Retwist down to just one member. Fourth Party has 2 left, and they're just swinging this box around in the streets, and that's all they really got to do there.
Swinging that box around the streets.
Going to be able to deal with Team Ed, and I think they take first as well.
Yeah. Nobody wants to contest that. They will just take that first place for free. I'm surprised everyone went for this outside point because that thing is so hard to flip. We did see a crazy flip come the way of Fourth Party Cashbox there, and they were able to hold it because as soon as multiple teams come in, it's almost impossible to take that point. We did see them get a little bit of advantage to be able to get that point because Team Retwist got some positional advantage over Off-Key, giving them the opening. But if any of those teams even try and contest Team ED, Team Ed, then they're able to get that first place and secure that. So we get to see Team Ed get that first place, Fourth Party Cashbox come out as second.
Yeah, very on point there. I'm curious to see the absolute point totals here. I'd love to see if Team Ed is the first team to crack into the 1,000-point club on the season. Nobody in EU managed to get that done today. Team Ed has to be close with 4 first places and the kills. Definitely very close. It's looking like they are just a hair short there, though, at 984 points. Team Retwist currently sitting in second off scored. Currently by the Latin.
Group B is going to be Bricked, STPR, I don't know who that is, TN, and Via. So this is the group that I wanted to see.
In addition to that kind of stack, we've seen Circle and Cafaneo be kind of a
after
duo
this,
there.
I gotta go
I think Grimlock's
move some furniture.
in that heavy role for them. The Stepper is going to feature people like Kip, Just Angel, Unfortunate. Kip going to be a dominant heavy. Usually
I need
likes
some
to play that
food.
mesh shield, so it's going to be interesting to see if we see him on the winch and make those adjustments he needs. The Nether, of course, going to be with Barbarous, Noose, Ricardo, and Marco. It's going to be interesting to see with such big rosters who these teams really put into action, and we have such flexibility within the team. So what do you think?
Yeah, it is cool to see some of these teams taking full advantage of the 5 roster slots that are allowed. I think every team, quite frankly, should be doing something like that. Even if it is just for the reserve role, I think you can do a lot of strategic stuff with just having 2 extra members of your team. Obviously, with that comes a lot more scrimming that would be involved and just coaching and workshopping in the strats department. I also wanted to touch on the fact that Team Ed actually did break 1,000 points. The scores were not fully updated, so Team Ed sitting at exactly 1,100 points. And we here early, Via seeming to be the one shield up, giving Stooge perfect cover to take out Circle. The Nether have been wiped across the map.
Minigun
Via looks to be going down as well. So
it's busy.
Twice to that minigun. Cafenio, a bar and a half of HP. Box 1 just sitting there. We do have a hand res coming into play for Team Rick, though, as Via looks to be going for a full reset. It's looking like a
okay. So TN is the Nether,
and
Via, and Steppers.
The only team running Mesh Shield. Mesh being probably the best pick for that minigun, and minigun is going to be exceptional at cash out. As long as people aren't going to be running these nullifiers, I think the minigun is probably one of the best third-party weapons in the entire game. To get such
so Brick is running Mesh.
Yeah,
I think
I agree, and
Stu is on the 93R.
Are going to be running Nullifier, and not in my opinion, especially
I don't know what STN's running. It might be Model. I don't know.
Counter to the minigun as Kip's going to fall to an RPG, and the SA-12 of Ricardo. He's going to find some more shots as well. But it's just going to be just enough damage where Angel can get out of there, but he's going to regen so fast.
The rest of these teams. I know Grimlock, Signal.
This box has been manipulated into a pretty difficult spot to steal.
And
Cafaneo to Angel. So that's going to put the Nether in a bit of a
sounds familiar, but
here. The Nether are one of our
qualifier
teams. Something to note. The highest seeded qualifier team as of right now. Ricardo's going to miss that winch. He's got a few seconds before it comes back. Barbarous finds the res on Naus, but Naus immediately is going to go back down. That has to be so frustrating. We do see this switch coming into play, but he may have bit off more than he could chew in a 1-on-2 scenario. Unfortunate, taking out Barb, and now Ricardo, 3 bars of health and a dream as the last man alive for the Nether.
Ricardo!
Is going to be retreating, probably off the scene, perhaps even a full rotate here off the coins, depending on how they want to play it.
Yeah, I do think this is a good opportunity for them to rotate and potentially third party at this point. We're going to be seeing a stick go through, but it does.
There's that minigun work.
Minigun going to come out. Huge damage on the way of Grimlock. Going to be taking out Sergno as well. STN getting some great shots with the FAMAS. And now it's just going to be Cafaneo going down to that minigun. We're going to be resetting because there's going to be a third party coming in, I believe. Going to be lock bolting and looking for that value to stop anyone from taking that. We're going to see Ricardo taking some big damage to that minigun. He's going to need to get something down there to protect his team stealing. The gas goes off, and now it's going to be Team Brick taking point A. And will they be able to get this light
Damn, that
off of
infuser
him?
was,
They do, and they clean up.
was so
Just need to reset
fucking key
STN,
right there.
Get him back up, and now you're done and dusted moving on to the next vault.
Brick played that well. I mean, Busy got up in there and just started shredding.
That minigun is proving to be a problem right now. With a bit of downtime, I do want to touch on that point. So with the reintroduction of the stun gun as the nullifier, it did essentially nullify that of the minigun. And so people, but that also seemed to be one of its few uses at that point. So we have a lot of people not running nullifier as people aren't running minigun, but now catching people off guard is Busy with the minigun and potentially no nullifier.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to change the encoder back. I just had an issue with switching my resolution under the NVENC 264.
So 2 alive for Brick, 2 alive for Bias, Sergnal and Grim, Stooge and STN.
But that could be the reason why my CPU usage is so high, because I'm on software right now.
At least for the time being, but Busy is also going to get picked up from STN. So a bit of a dragged out fight here as the other cash out has been started.
Stewie.
Not something you really want to see if you're anybody but the team in control, that being Team Steppers. Nice shots out of Sergnal, though, and that is
I do wish that they
used
used
every day is a qualifier team wiping
ranked
the NA champs.
rules, because
nice stuff out of the Steppers and Via.
You would end up with, you know, when you eliminate a team, you lose money. Right now, you don't lose money, which I feel like there's a strategy that needs to be played with that. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to know when you can wipe, when you shouldn't, and I think it causes for more like, you know, 1v2 situations where you have to make something happen, right? Because you can't wipe, you know. And I think it also tightens the lobby. It also can cause people to run away with it too. But I feel like if that's how ranked is, that's how tournaments should be played, you know. I feel like the finals has an opportunity to have a good competitive scene. I think they just got to make some tweaks with, you know.
Enjoy your new soda. Thanks.
Right now you're playing World Tour because you can wipe. You know, you lose 2 guys, just die, respawn, reset, right?
Come up here.
Whereas in ranked, you got to be a little more strategic on when you decide to wipe and when you have to stay alive, you know.
Hey guys, this is unprofessional.
But then again, what the fuck do I know? No idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I can't even get out of gold, so.
Happy now, mattress man?
Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
What you know about 1999?
Steppers has a basically 1 minute left.
Oh,
on this
y'all weren't
cash
even
out.
born yet.
They're gonna have a fantastic ability to hold this. I'm curious to why they're not pulling this out into this alleyway and defending it from there. But over on the other side of the map, over on D, we're gonna be seeing STN.
I do think it was a better time though.
By that 93R.
The early 2000s. Late 90s.
Probably wait for that coin because his body is in such a tough position as we see Cafaneo perfectly defending that and getting Stooge taken out. Now Busy's going to go and drop to make sure that he has enough time to contest point D yet again.
See, like that, right? Like, you know to wipe because you're not going to lose any money, and you need time so that you can push the cash out again, right? You want to respawn with enough time to push the cash out. So instead of having to stay alive and seeing if you can get reses, because you're not going to lose any money, you just die, which I feel like is ass backwards. Like, you really should be playing to stay alive, right?
You see Barb with the model in hand. Nice to see it.
I get it. These guys are cracked. They're the best of the best. So what are the chances of you being able to 1v2 or 1v3 in a team? But I've seen it happen.
Right now as they cash out once
and I think it's cool shit.
Yeah,
it's
like
definitely a
said,
clip.
Brick going to be coming in yet again for another steal attempt. They're going to have 45 seconds on this as Stujay gets taken out again by Cafneo. Cafneo is looking pretty unstoppable with that 93R. His positioning is perfect. Going to be looking for a lock bolt with Busy. Not going to get much off of that. Going to be using that TP to try and escape as he is in
Brick's
that
in
lock
trouble.
bolt, swinging back and forth on a tire swing essentially. And it's going to be Signal and Grimlock going to be holding this point, going to reset Cafneo, and it's
Cafneo, that's how you say it.
Left to fight and try and get some kills. As we see the Nether coming in for a last-second steal, trying to get this steal away from Vaya, and it's just Signal at 2-bar, gonna get that goose stall perfectly, and Busy gonna try and set off that C4, but he's just gonna back off because now we're in a great position for playing it for second place. We do see Steppers in a huge advantage.
Yeah, Steppers is running away with this lobby right now.
On the other side of the map as we clean up with the Nether.
So W still on that, may not do better than third with some kills, potentially second, as we do see second and third place are currently tied. However, we do see a nice kill out of Signal and Grimlock and Cafneo. So the Steppers down to just Angel with 25 HP and a
Infuser work, baby.
nice
Oh, nasty. 93R just fucking slaps, man.
Proving lethal as STN is going to find him. Brick looking very healthy. This is such a tightly contested race. First place is still relatively anybody's game here aside from the Nether, as Busy's going to find another one on the Nether. Now the last man alive being Nous, but
nice.
He's going to go
Stewie
down
with,
as well.
with the hunt.
Not much time left here, but we do get a little bit of potential for the Nether coming off a spawn.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting whether or not we have the ability to play for kills from the Steppers. They're probably going to be playing it a little bit safer and going in for the box instead of just farming kills to try and get this lead back, but they are in a great position to even play for second, potentially getting enough kills, but they're going to be going against Busy's minigun. Not going to be seeing a lot of value. They're going to be glitching that dome.
So right now you got Team Brick and Via within 500 are actually tied right now, but they're both about to get cash outs. Via looks like they're going to get the cash out first, so they're going to take second, and Brick is going to be behind, and Brick just got wiped. Ooh, that's not good.
The Steppers taking it, but we're going to see Via come in hot, fighting the Nether, and this take is going to be almost impossible with 3 teams
Ricardo!
Here. Everyone's going to be basically defending 4 Team Brick, and now it's so close for Via to win this just based off of kills. I think they're going to be able to get this. We do see the Nether
Via gets it. Holy shit.
To get
it's going to knock Brick down to 4th. And Steppers just fell out of 1st. They're not going to get 1st. It's going to be
in a clean
Via.
first place position. Nobody's going to overtake them. But we need to see those kills come out short by 1
Brick
kill
got a couple kills to get
them.
him out, to get out of last place.
Yeah, that one was
good.
down to the wire. It truly did become
That was good.
Third place. And they're one
For his team success, he's trying to make
Team Ken Cables going into this one, Soil.
Look, I mean, I'm not sure for really squeak out
From a right
season.
This is game 2 from yesterday. This was the Pro League that was played yesterday. NA.
Some early shots with that Pike. STN and Pike almost go hand in hand, and it is a scary sight every single time. He is going to find that pick on Just Angel. Signal gets
STN's using Pike.
Map, though, so the Nether
I don't know if he was using Pike last map.
right
I think he was using the FAMAS. The FAMAS.
Control this situation here. The Steppers still a man down. Probably
My lower back is so uncomfortable right now.
Actually, is going to fall. Stooge
Holy shit.
finds the trade, and STN with a fast revive as well. Some really good close range Pike shots. That's something I just quite frankly, could never do. Unfortunate is going to fall, though, as well as all of the steppers. So Bricked, with the money tapped, have a nice short walk over to cash out A.
You know, it's funny that the pike is so viable. I feel like the repeater would be, because you need a lot less shots to kill somebody, but it is slower, and you have to land your shots with that gun. That's my favorite gun, and I'm not very good with it, but
as Noose is going to be taken out.
I'd love to see that become meta.
Ricardo looking for a reset. They're going to be pushed. Sergio going to demat them down, look for a value, but unfortunately he's going to be taken out by Grimlock. Grimlock finally
so first cash out right now belongs to Via and Bricked.
So another go down once
Via
again.
is halfway through theirs.
Also down and out. So some early dominance out of our top two teams. Very convincing fights. 1 kill apiece for our bottom teams, the Steppers and Nether, going early on into this map number 2. We do see a bit of manipulation here on A, and that's going to be in a cheeky spot right next to the jump pad as well. So you're,
I'll tell you what, man, the vertical on TikTok looks good.
But we do see the Nether with an aggressive jump pad across and up. Nobody is going to fall. Right on cue, Ricardo goes down, so does Barbarous. STN not missing a bullet with the pike, it seems. Now again, Noose all by himself, but he does have a trophy in hand, and he is going to get a res, so a bit of a sign of life here. Some hope and potential, but he's taking some shots from the low ground from Stooge, who just doesn't seem to be missing right now, leaving Barbarous all alone. He should have a DMAT in hand, and he does.
Let's check all the other
so he's
ones.
going to get his big man up. That is a bit better. He will have the defib sickness, and now they're just kind of running out of time here. So beautiful stalling from Bricked. It does look like across the map, Via does cash out, and they're getting some.
I realized my my webcam is in front of Steppers and Via.
Pretty much locked down.
Yeah, if I were Nether, I'd be rotating out now, looking for a fight, trying to get some position on the next vault. And it looks like they're going to be going over to Haltos potentially to get their way out. But no, Noose wants to take the fight, looks for STN, and tries to get some value. We're going to be going in full force. A big RPG coming out.
We'll do that. So at least y'all can see it, you know, because there's so many people watching right now.
This light. Will he get him? Yes, Noose goes down, and now Barbarous finally gets the reset on the way of Ricardo. And it's going to be a big C4 coming out from Busy. Now Barbarous yet again solo getting winched, taken out.
Yeah, Stooge is going to find 2. Stooge is on point right now, absolutely beaming. It looks like Brick locked in for this one, but Via is also absolutely dialed. Grim is going to take out Kip, but taken out by Unfortunate. Just Angel wins his 1 against Kefenio with just a sliver of health left. We're going to see a wipe again for the Nether, and Via is going to fall as well. So the flip coming in from Steppers. A good point, too. A good point and a good time to do it at before things start to get out of hand.
And it looks like Nether's going to be on their way over very quickly. They do know to kind of deny this pad and get any free beams. If anyone takes that pad, they're going to get beamed out of the air. We're going to be making a smart play and a clean rotation over, playing the insides of these buildings, and we're going to see how Steppers rotate away and stall the take and force them on the point. We're going to be dropping down beneath this point, a very classic play, but they do get found. Going to be getting Kip healed right back up, and we're going to be getting the chase on Barbarous. Ricardo dropping that dome, and that glitch is going to come out, deny that, as Kip's dome creates some great value on Barbarous, taking him out. Noose is going to get some great shots off on Just Angel. Ricardo takes out Kip, and now we're going to get a full reset from towards Just Angel. Sergnal going to be coming in, getting out Just Angel, and this building is going to be crumbling, trying to help his team get back up. And it looks like it's a third party coming in, and this is going to be anyone's cash out to win.
Yeah, we have everyone in the lobby besides Bricked fighting over this cash out right here. A steal attempt is being made. Kefenio kind of going for a bit of an alternate angle. I don't know if they're just bailing on this one and trying to get a jump on the next. It does look like that's exactly what's happening here. The Nether did manage to get a little bit of possession here, but the Steppers do have enough time for this flip. They got on in time, right on cue. They get that one. However, it doesn't really change up in the standings all that much. Nice play, though, out of the Steppers, because going into this next box, that box is going to prove very valuable. Tough spot to be in, though, for the Nether. Nice winch out of Busy, but he's going to get counter-winched immediately. A little bit of a staircase scuffle, something like the Bronx, New York. I'm very familiar with that. We are now heading up the stairs with Busy in a nice stair tech. And yeah, Bricks is going to walk away with this one. They handled business. No one's in a position to take from them. Serginal's still alive, but with that 25 HP, nothing's coming to that. And he's going to get wiped anyway.
Yeah, and now Bricks is in a fantastic position, but we have seen in the previous game, does not mean you are secured for first place. We see Team Via and Steppers on the back and pushing in. If they get a plug and Team Brick does not win this next box, they could be in danger of losing this first place position that they do have. We're going to see a fight come over on the other side of the map, fighting for this plug to get position of this. We see Barbarous getting taken out by Kip Kip, Ricardo going down shortly after, and now it's just going to be up to Noose to try and find some value, hopefully looking for the reset to try and get his team back up, and he does find a body to maneuver and look for this res. On the other side of the map, we do see a plug come in from Via, and they are in control. They have Stooge just left to try and reset. Similar position on both sides of the map.
Gotta make a cut, man. Falling asleep.
And Nether in very similar positions. We're going to be seeing Team Via look for a rundown over on Stooge, but they do not look for the commit.
Brick in first.
And finally get Busy back up. Going to have to wait for
2.5 minutes left.
However.
And
yeah, Stooge opting for a bit of the longer route on the reset. Just really didn't want to risk anything. There's still so much time left.
They don't have the cash box, so they gotta make something work here.
But we are gonna get that.
The Nether is
now, so we're gonna
hurting right now.
Retake coming in from Brick, not something they're unfamiliar with, not something they can't handle. However, Via is in quite an advantageous position here, as we do see Team Brick just trying to get any bit of information as they can on them, crouch walking and regular walking, trying to just make absolutely no sound. This is a high stakes scenario. No real time for a wipe here, because by the time this fight actually ensues, it's going to be a one and done situation. They have made themselves all the way up to the roof and highest level of the building, which they should be stumbling upon Via at any moment. I see this going very poorly for someone who's just going to get caught out and get deleted, in my opinion. We do see STN taking some heavy shots, but he's going to get immediately healed back up. All of Via falls to 3/4 health. This is a high-stakes situation. STN's going to go for a hop right here. A bit of a force. He baits out a C4 drop, it looks like. Again, the damage and health looking pretty good. Kafenio does fall, and just like that, Stooge is going to get absolutely deleted. We do see a massive winch coming in, and that's going to be dropping of STN most likely, but he's doing his absolute best to get out of there. The goo almost keeps him alive, but instead it just doesn't go their way. Via with a massive
Brick is eliminated, and they are gonna fall to third.
About to wipe out in a one-on-one scenario. Kip against Nose, and he wins it. Does he have enough time to do anything about it though? No, he does not.
Well, it kind of makes sense that, last season,
for Via, Steppers also taking a
Brick was
second place
what people were shooting for. They were the best team
that we've been seeing throughout
I felt like through the course of the Pro League.
I do believe Brick is still in third place.
These other teams have gotten better. They've had a full season to practice and play together and learn strategy and change meta a little bit.
Yeah, the placements stay the same. Let's give it a shout out to
and you're seeing it play out. Brick isn't able to dominate like they did before. Seems like Team Ed is the dominating team. I still think Brick is talented as fuck.
Artist development used to be exclusive to labels. Our new tool, Blueprint AI, changes that, putting personalized.
And I think that they, a couple weeks and they'll be back up there, contending with Team Ed, if not the best team. I felt like in the tournament, they were the last team, and they got second, and I know me personally, I would feel I'd have the win taken out of my sails, losing the way they did, man. Just that jump pad in the way. I feel like if he drops in there, he's just gonna fucking clean house. Busy's gonna clean house. They hold that cash out, and you know, maybe it doesn't go that way, right? You never know. That's the one thing about this game is the RNG, the randomness of it can bite you in the ass, and that's essentially what happened. There was a jump pad placed there and took him out of the fight for that split second. And in this game, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to split seconds. I mean, I've stolen cash outs. You know, we were halfway across the map at Kyoto and they were all playing roof. On the last cash out, there's like 13 seconds. I'm 150 meters away. I zip line, jump pad, DMAT through the roof, land on the cash out, throw 2 goos, and start stealing right at the 7-second mark and get it to win the game. I mean, that's something that this game I feel like offers that no other game does, where you can make something happen in the last second. But in their case, you know, it went the other way. And, you know, and I think at least how I felt like Brick was going to run away with it. And they really did. They're the best team, I feel like, by far. But they didn't win the whole thing. They came in second, right? And I think it's given other people you know, a chance to feel like, hey, we can win this shit. You know what I mean? But it's early. It's early in Pro League.
It's still anyone's game. It feels like we have kind of a grouping of 3 teams, and then we have the Nether kind of lagging a little bit behind. And again, I'm curious to see how these maps go. In terms of longer range weapon, I would like to see some of these teams swap up. And I know Busy tends to go for the Deagles on this map, as we do see.
He's running
Shack. Rocking a Shack this time instead.
Shacking.
Love to see that. When I've been running my,
I love the Shack. I've been using the Deagles, but man, sometimes them guns piss me off.
Even though that SA-12 has been the meta pick for quite some time now on the heavy, despite all the nerfs, we do see a lock bolt coming in from Ricardo, and it is going to catch as well. Unfortunately, it's going to fall, and Kip is going to fall, but that's across the map. Right here, right
Busy
now,
with that C4 play, man.
Kind of getting the business in their one-on-one situation, and just like that, that's a 3-0 quick
3-0, baby.
to the hands of Brick.
Yeah, and on the other side,
Brick needs a win right here. They need a win. They're on Monaco.
Steppers getting taken down by Via very quickly. And
what game is this? I feel like this is game 3.
Down, Just Angel filed up. Busy's doing some great damage on position. Yeah. Unless one of these teams wipe rather quickly over on A.
Yeah, because we still got an hour and a half. They got 2 more matches after this one, so that kind of makes sense. That checks out.
Spawn locked over there. Huge RPG that's actually going to drop A into the inside of the cathedral here. We do see Grimlock dropping a dome shield for his team. He's going to put
That's so nasty. So you throw the dome shield down and winch someone into the dome with you so that his teammates can't shoot you while you just fuck that guy up.
Across the map, it does look like the Steppers got that exact same unfortunate spawn. I love how Brick played it the first time, where they sniffed out the spawn and they just absolutely aped on them. They didn't even give them a chance to try and get their health back and reset. I love that aggression there. We do see a bit more aggression, as Unfortunate is going to fall. And again, Brick is in quite a power position here. There's just not too much you can do if you're the Steppers there. A bit of an unfortunate spawn lock.
Yeah, and I think the best choice would have been to go over to Cathedral and third party and try and get that fight over there, because this spawn is so volatile. You just take so much damage on your way over. It's just almost impossible to push, as we do see Steppers pushing their way over. STN following them, putting the pressure down. Stu-J getting some great long shots.
Stu-J.
As we get STN beaming with that pipe now.
Yeah,
Barbarous
STN looking like the Terminator.
Barbarous
right. Brick's in second. Via is in first.
As we move in, it's going to be a huge conglomerate, a huge snowball coming in, and let's see if we see Brick also come in for this fight and get those kills. But we see Grimlock getting taken down by Just Angel, and we see 3 teams still fighting over here.
Yeah, the teams are a bit late to disperse, even though we do have these vault locations that have revealed themselves, specifically the teams fighting for this. Unless there is, we're going to be seeing quite an ugly
Brick's got
staggering
the second plug in.
Unfortunate, just edging here for position, trying to do his best to play these rooftop angles, but he gets smoked from behind from Naus. Unfortunate to be unfortunate there. Great if you're Naus. We do see one left alive, so
it can be a little bit difficult, but there's not going to be much time. I still think there's 3 teams over here. We have the Steppers, Via, and the Nether, and now we got to continue rotating. But he finds another heavy, and he's just got to keep running and running and running and resetting his team. Well done from the Nether to come over and finally kite away and let the 2 teams of Stepper and Via fight for that.
Yes, indeed. We have about half aggression here on C. We also received some more support from the community. Vaco and right on cue, just meeching. Shout out to the both of you adding to the player pool. We do have some intense fights ensuing as we speak. As Barb is going to take out Unfortunate. Signal is going to pick up Grimlock. Cafenio finds Ricardo. The kill feed is absolutely lighting up right now. We have an interesting boot position here, but he's not going to be... He is going to be quite protected, actually. He's going to have nobody in position to stop him. We do see Stooge trying
Nasty
to
shots.
a second too late to the party.
Nasty shots by Stu.
Brick does have their own money as well. Stooge just getting a little bit greedy here. But there's still some time to work with. I mean, they can make something happen here. Unlikely, but STN is on the stick. Stooge finds the cover. In fact, Cafenio takes himself out with the mine. The damage of his own mine is going to have him fall.
They gooed him off.
Clip, though. Via holds on, at least for the time being. But Grimlock with 1 HP left. Stooge smells blood in the water. And if they hop it right now, they can get the steal. However, the Nether show up and absolutely rain on the parade there. Beautiful play out of...
Damn, if the Nether didn't show up, they could have had that.
The Nether kind of ruined the day.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see STN not look for a stick. I think he had a good opportunity sitting in that gas and having Stooge heal him back up. I'm not sure if he got any additional pressure. There was a team pushing him. But we're going
I think he got gooed off of it because he was right there, I felt like.
And then look for a kill.
So Via and Brick are kind of running away with it, but Steppers does have this cash out.
Mistress is not really much of the griefing out aspect that you see in ranks taking place. Via with 2 men alive, and the Steppers are also at full strength. This is kind of anyone's game as far as second, third, and fourth.
Oh, I'm gonna go grab my coffee because it should be done.
Busy finding another pick.
Forgot about it.
STN is gonna take out Signal as well. That being 2 dead for Via, and Grim is taking some heavy shots. Somehow survives with about 25 HP, but it's looking grim for Grimlock here as Stooge does find him. That is a huge win over on that side of the map. However, it wasn't really that much of anything involved. They do get some kills out of it. It looks like Brick is kind of stuck in first place here as long as they can force these 2 teams to hold their money. So I guess in that aspect, a great fight and a wise fight to take from Brick, just stalling out Via.
Yeah, and I think what Busy just did there, I think he set up a defensive C4 for the Nether to hold their points so they can secure first place. I think they're just going to sit tight and defend for this team. They have a huge advantage. They're not going to be contested on this kill race. It would be surprising to even see Via be able to take this point. But there's still going to be opportunity as everyone comes over. You know, the Steppers are going to be looking for this point. They won that last point, and now they have an opportunity to go for first, but it's going to be extremely, extremely tough with 2 teams defending this cash out.
Yeah, you got 6 people trying to keep this cash out in someone's hands, and on top of that, the other 2 teams are not exactly working together. So this is going to be a very difficult position for anybody to go for on that steal. And if all goes well, Brick holds first here. We do see an aggressive steal coming into play from the Steppers with that mesh and dome shield. However, the stall into the jump pad is just going to be too much to deal with, and just like that, the clock strikes 6. And nobody is able to get this steal. So Nether are going to hold on to it. They're going to take 3rd place. Via will sit in 2nd, and Brick securing 1st with nothing but strategy.
Yeah, that's
Fuck, I missed 2-1
for Team Bricks being on the edge. In the
it's Brick, baby.
Those first places for the first 2 games, they finally squeak it out, evening up kind of the group here and putting the pressure on the points. We do still see Via taking a clean second place. And honestly, if I were them, you're sitting pretty comfortable in this group. You've done some great work getting 2 first places on SIS, Horizon, and then Fortune Stadium. And now getting a second place on Monaco. They just need to keep up the pressure and keep their advantages going and try and just maintain such a steady performance throughout the next few games on Nozomi Citadel and Las Vegas Stadium. We do see the Nether make their way up to a 3rd place, finally breaking their way out of that 4th place position going into this next match.
Yeah, the Nether doing their part for sure. It does look like Via, they don't even need to bat an eye at that second place.
All right, well, it started to downpour over here, so I might not be able to go get that furniture. So
I remember that screen correctly. So they're doing pretty well as long as they don't start bottoming out here with the 3rd and 4th place finishes. They're going to be putting them to this.
Oh, we're going to
this is more of an indoor
Citadel
map. All these little tiny rooms work together in a way that really pushes the fights up close and personal. We do have some very similar lines of sights like we do in SIS Horizon, where they can be kind of tough to cross over into the building, but once you're in the building, it's full-on close range action.
Absolutely. We're also on a level 6 hype train as BMO gifted Sunsoyo a sub, and Matty Batty also gifted a sub to the chat. Thank you guys all for the support. I know we appreciate it, the league appreciates it, and the players definitely appreciate it. Stu-J, one of those who does definitely appreciate it and wants all that money. Hernandez Ricardo in his line of sight. And
all right, so with the rain, I'm not going to go. So what I'll do here is we'll finish watching this segment of games, and then I'm going to go offline, switch my encoder, see if that helps anything, and get some games in. See how the stream runs with me actually, or see how the game runs with me streaming. That's really what it is. These mother in commercials. These sons of bitches. I mean, tell you what, man. Setting up multi-stream and just streaming in general and stuff, like, it's not hard. Like, I'm an old fuck. I figured it out in less than a day. Half a day. But there's these little fucking things that, like, you would think that they'd have figured out to make it easier, considering that so many people want to stream, and that, you know, I guess there's no money in it, right? I mean, there is for like the upper echelon of streamers and content creators, but the majority of us, is it really worth it to make software that's fucking easy? Because you see these platforms fighting for attention, you know, Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I mean, no one can fight YouTube. And TikTok's up in the game now. Instagram, you know what I mean? It's just like, maybe there's not enough to go around. Everybody's fighting to be the best. All right. What's it look like? We got Steppers and Bricked. I got the volume.
Another missed RPG, a bit of an ill-advised RPG coming out of Grim there, but they are pushing towards B as a unit. Calm, Cool, and Collected. Grim does get dropped, and now he's going to get soloed out here. Misses the winch there, but playing that Dome Shell perfectly to escape with his life. Reinforcements are on the way and present as they do manage to turn this scenario around just a bit, leaving the Steppers down to 2 people. They do need to move quickly, though, if they do want to have any type of play on it. It is going to fall twice thanks to the DMAT and C4 combination. A massive winch is going to come in, but no direct kills really relate to it. Cafenio does find one. Grimlock is going to take him out as well. They got enough time on the flip, and they do get it. So the Steppers are going to wipe out, and across the map, the Nether wipe out as well. Bricks cashing out, and Via cashing out.
Yeah, I mean, wow, what a fantastic take. They did a great job forcing them in and turning out the advantage that the Steppers had, getting that point and flipping it over. On the other side of the map, we do see Team Brick get their cash out and secure that first place advantage going into this next vault. They're going to be pushing this second place team to try and further their advantage and deny their plug. So let's see who goes in. A big RPG on the way of Busy, getting some great damage out there. Grimlock now backing up as we see Sergnal get winched in. Will he be taken out, or will he be able to make his escape? I do know Sergnal is a slippery fella, as Busy getting taken out and now flipping that in their way. Stuje doing a great job getting that off angle and taking out Grimlock and Cafaneo. STN finally getting Busy back up, and Sergnal falling down. I think that's 3 kills from Stuje there, really popping off and carrying his team on his back for that fight.
Yeah, the 93R is really making its presence known this season, and so are all the lights running it. We got even more support from the chat. Hold on, Skilled with more subs, Dreadalicious with more subs. I believe we're on a record hype train, chat, so thank you. We got to get back to business here as Kip is finding Ricardo on that trade after he took out Just Angel. Noose taking out Kip, and now it's looking like a full reset for the Nether, as unfortunate last man standing. We're probably going to see immediate coins coming in, and it's looking like a pretty decent spawn. Unfortunate does get at least 1 stall, and thanks to that jump pad, he's going to buy him and his team a bit more time. Barb right back on it, though. Is he going to go for the second one? It's not looking like it. They're going to need to play for the retake. The winch catches, however, weird angle, doesn't actually pull.
Yeah, that was unusual.
Yeah, unusual and unfortunate for the other side of things. However, Bricked sitting in a comfortable first place, and they have possession across the map. Unfortunate doing everything he can to find his kills, but Kip takes out Noose. Stooge and the rest of Bricked absolutely wiping the floor with Via right now. Convincing fight here. Kip taking out Ricardo. This one a bit more long and drawn out than the one happening across the map. We do see some nice heals coming in on Kip. They have a decent angle, but no one, not even the shots coming in an attempt to stop that steal. So the Steppers are going to get that flip right under the nose of the Nether, and now the Nether have about 30 seconds or so to get their stuff together and get a retake going.
Yeah, over on the other side of the map, I don't think there's going to be enough time to take it away from Team Brick. I think they're a little bit too far away from that cash out. They will have an opportunity to force point, just like we see from the Nether. Going to be getting a good glitch out there and denying any sort of bubble that comes out. They have a great bubble to winch them away as they look to just stall and not commit for a fight. We see Unfortunate taking some shots, Just Angel getting some great picks on Noose, and goes down to Barbarous with that model. The model being fantastic at bursting out damage. Kip, Unfortunate, is going to peel for his team and clean up the Nether. And it looks like it's just Ricardo left trying to make his great escape, as he unfortunately does not get a pick, and they get away. Steppers now going to make their way over to this final chat vault, and it looks like Brick is going to be in a huge advantage going into this. Another similar position, similar narrative as we saw to last match. We just need to see Brick get a plug and get control, and they have a great opportunity at first place. That's going to be huge, and it looks like nobody's really contesting them over there, as we see Vault 5 now going to be contested by potentially Via and the Steppers.
Yeah, Brick is just such a hard team to push, especially once they are all set up. you can make an argument that when it comes to individual raw aim, they may just be the best in the league at aiming. So when you have these guys set up stationary, they are basically just a bunch of turrets waiting to mow you down. We do see Just Angel on the outskirts here, looking to find a pick, and he does find it on Sergnal, but not until Sergnal did find that pick on Unfortunate. We don't have any resets yet. Now, Cafaneo or Kip Kip in a one-on-one, and Cafaneo is going to win that one. 93R absolutely reigning supreme. However, 5 is not in yet, and we're about 30 seconds of the way done over on Cash Out B, which is belonging to Bricked. So, I mean, Bricked is in a fantastic position here. Only one team even has the ability to overtake them right now, as long as my math suits me correctly, and it should be pretty simple math. Some nice movement out of Stujay, just dashing to stay alive. All Bricked has to do here is really not catastrophically mess up and win their one fight against the Steppers. Kite, stall. You have about a minute left on your box here. Plenty of time, though, left across the map on the box that belongs to the Nether. As we see the Steppers trying to get across the map, but it is a tough push on this angle right here. They're going for the long route, and I think that's the right move. Still a little bit of time for them to make a play.
Yeah, I do think this is a tough position. I do think there's good opportunity to push B and then also potentially push the other point. We only have a minute left, so it's not going to be that tough, but this is going to break out into probably a 4-team fight with these points being so close. We see Team Brick going to be looking over and trying to find some good damage on the Steppers, trying to deny them from ever taking this point and passing them. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to try and contest the Brick's first place as Stujay comes over, cleaning up Kip Kip, and now causing a wrench in everyone's plan. I think he just shot them, and he wants Pink to take. He backed off and didn't look for that kill, and he's going to kind of help them win this box to try and alleviate some of the stress they've been dealing with not getting those first places earlier in this group.
Yeah, this is the Brick that I think we are all accustomed to seeing. The second that they saw the Steppers were no longer going to be pursuing them, they smelt that blood in the water and instantly hopped off point. So now they are doing their absolute best to manipulate who wins this point here. Huge winch out of Busy, however, is going to come to bite him in the butt, as Sergnal does end up winning that engagement anyway. All in all, it doesn't really matter. We do have Bricked absolutely locked into first place, so all of this is just gravy for them. However, the other teams, there is a lot on the line, as the Nether can take third place here. However, it's not looking like they can take second. The Steppers, however, want to do everything in their power. It doesn't even matter. The Nether are going to take third. Vaya is going to fall to fourth, which is exactly what we said we did not want to see happen out of them. Still one more game, though, and I still say overall it's a pretty solid day for Vaya, but I am liking how Bricked has turned things around, Sunsoya.
Yeah, I do think this is kind of going to be between still the three teams, Brick, Steppers, and Vaya. I think we've seen a great average from the Steppers, and we've seen some great first place finishes from Vaya. So I think realistically right now we might just be between Brick and Vaya, unless they kind of have a huge blunder and get third and fourth. It's not going to really be much to even things up for the day. We're going to need to see Nether really step it up if they want to kind of knock Brick and Vaya back down into the basically an equal stepping and equal footing within the group. So this last match, you just need to finish strong, guarantee a second if you can, and even excel and get first to kind of squeak out the entire group winning. So this last match could be really deciding on who takes the group.
Yeah, that's a good point. And as you said, the Nether kind of have the potential here with the first place finish to almost reset the group to the point where it kind of started today off. A little bit of a shakeup, but Bricked has seemed to have locked it in. Vaya, I'm hoping for their sake that they don't get another fourth place. I would like to see them perform back to how they were performing those first three games. I think our last map is going to be on Vegas. I don't know which of these teams exactly is the strongest on Vegas. It is a pretty balanced map overall. A lot of symmetry is involved.
They're gonna make a phone call about the furniture. Hey, check it out. Cheap views on Streambo.
Solid rotation potential. A map that's grown on me significantly. I remember in season 1, I absolutely dreaded playing Fires.
Mat walls that wouldn't work. I think the community is probably better.
I missed all that. Hold on. Who won it?
Brick blundering.
Brick. Look at Brick dominating.
Him in the butt.
Okay, so here's the thing that I'm thinking.
Anyway,
I feel like a lot of the maps that are older has given a lot of time for teams to get strategy and know where to play, when to play, you know, because they've had more reps on those maps. Whereas the new map,
the steppers, however, want to do everything in their power.
these guys are probably pretty solid on how to play the map now, but it's still evolving and people are still learning because there hasn't been that much time, you know, playing on it.
Still one more game though, and I still say overall it's a pretty solid day for Vaya.
And I think that what that shows is the team's raw talent.
Yeah, I do think
so I'm not surprised a team like Brick turns around and wins it on the new map, because I think when it comes down to like raw talent and ability and synergy as a team, I think they're the best, or at least one of the best, right? Tell you what, Llama graduating and Normalized looking pretty badass right now. But what I'm saying is that you take all these teams and you put them in a new arena where they don't know every position, or they're, you know, or they haven't refined it, let's just say, then it falls back on the raw talent, and Brick takes it, and Brick takes it by a dominating amount, 59-5 to 29-5. So all I'm saying is that Brick, they still here.
With the first place finish,
you know,
to almost reset the group for their sake. I don't dread it and trip of
fantastic rework, especially bringing in the brands and sponsors of the finals and making a map out of it. I think there was a lot of issues with the map. You had some DMAT walls that wouldn't work, some paper buildings, and better off for it. And has
I think this is the last match. So after this match, I'm gonna go offline, make some adjustments. I'll probably go back live and play and actually play some finals a little bit.
We're going to be looking for some high ground on the steppers. They do have the right idea. We see Team Brick kind of ratting down, getting that plug and securing it for them. They probably have a TP on that and going to go for the insta plug on A as we look to chase them down. The steppers making their way in, and it's going to be tough because this is an outdoor point, and we're going to have a clean setup from Brick, making their rotation away from this point and holding it down.
Yeah, this is a tough position, not only to push, but also to hold at times, especially in the lower levels, lower ranks, where players haven't really grasped the concept of cash-out manipulation. It's actually a pretty easy box to steal because of all the cover, but a huge winch coming in from Kip, and that's going to take out STN.
Cash box manipulation.
Right on cue, he is going to fall to Stu.
I mean, that's honestly something that I feel like we don't do a very good job of. I think we need to be on that and be quick and efficient with it.
Is going to get picked up. I don't know if that was a coin or a hand raise. However, we have a medium.
Winch is easy to do it, but I feel like you can get it done with a medium, a jump pad, and a DMAT. Because I play like a more tanky heavy. You know, I use Deagles, Mesh Shield, Dome, the Healer, and Barricade. Which
team wipe on the Nether. So Vaya looking very strong off to the start that they definitely needed.
Yeah, I would like to say that these cash outs aren't particularly staggered. They're relatively close in time. We did see Brick get a fantastic quick plug, and now things are pretty even. They're going to be making their way over towards Vaya from this rooftop. Going to throw off an initial glitch, probably hitting a few of their players. Not going to knock out that dome. That dome does go out early, which is going to be a big disadvantage when they do want to engage in this next fight. They're going to probably look to force the point. The C4 is right under there, so it's going to do no damage. He's going to set up a pad for escape as he does rotate over that glitch, moving the cash box and STN onto the jump pad, putting him in a terrible position. We see Cafaneo does get taken out. Grimlock following shortly after. And
why did he hit the jump pad? Did he want to? I mean, I guess to get up out of the nades.
Third party from Nether coming in, and they're gonna have to hop on this thing.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm not sure what the strategy would have been on
Now it's just busy
for doing that if he meant to.
No, he does not have the opportunity to. The Nether coming in with a clean third party. Unfortunately, for Team Bricked and Via on that unfortunate point, and we're gonna see Steppers and the Nether take the lead.
The Nether.
Yeah, Busy was doing everything he could to try and snake his way over to get a winch off and just try and delay that the best he could. But it looks like Sergnal going absolutely nuts with 6 kills already just on this first box alone. So Sergnal and Via off to a hot start in the slaying department. Unfortunately,
oh, he's won. Jeez.
Their cash just yet. But when you're cooking like that, you can get things firing on all cylinders. Possibly get away with a bit more as Cafenio is going to take out Angel. Grimlock did fall. However, the Steppers are down to just 1 man against Via, who's all 3 up. They just did hit that reset. So Via, again, in a powerful position as they do plug as well with advantage. Still only 1 alive left for the Steppers. Unfortunate. He's going to have to do something. They're probably just going to be playing for the coins here, though. He doesn't want to risk wiping, especially after waiting this long. Across the map, we have Bricks trying to find an entry here.
Damn.
On Team Nether. They're just going to drop right in. Busy's going to fall, so is STN. And that's going to be a quick wipe. The only positive side of that is that you're going to have plenty of time to come back at it for another go.
Yeah, I do think taking quick fights can be advantageous because you have the ability to choose whether you want to fight a clean 3v3 or look for the third party when you do spawn in. Kind of assess the situation. So taking that fight isn't that bad, but obviously having a cash out would be way better. So going into this other side, we're going to see Just Angel rotate around trying to find and scope out this team. He's going to set up an escape gateway to try and take height. He's going to go in and try and find anyone as Grimlock is ratting with Sergnal as Cafeneo is going to be taking an off angle.
Yeah, Just Angel just playing his life right now. Again, they kind of need to find a pick here before anything can occur. They do preemptively drop that, and because Just Angel has the height advantage, they're in a decent spot, but Via is going to flip the script. Now they are exactly where they need to be if they want to defend this, but Sergnal says, F that, I'm dropping in down to the ground level, I'm pushing these kills. He's got a heavy down to about 1 HP, and just like that, that aggressive push proves to be worth it, as now you're going to set the Steppers on a 20-something second respawn timer with about 30 seconds left on the box. Proving the aggression there, definitely worth it. And I also agree with that point where you want your fights, generally speaking, to be as fast as possible. You just want to avoid these thirds, and you want to buy yourself enough time for a second go at things if it doesn't necessarily go your way. Now it's going for the winch, but he's going to get winched, I think, simultaneously. STN does find that pick on him. Brick currently in possession here, so all they have to do is stay alive a couple more seconds. As they do, they will briefly take a first place lead. However, Via quickly going to cash out, now overtake them. So just right on point. Via
Deuce play. There's going to be UJ's there to peel for Busy and keep him alive. Fantastic teamwork from the way of Brick. And now it's going to be their control on that ball. Going over to the other side of the map, though, we're going to see Kip look for the chase on top of this team and rotating away. Great shots from Ricardo on the light. Now backing away. It's going to be just him, and he's going to have to look for a reset and get his team back up to fight one of these cash outs. They do have an okay position to get second place. They just need to win one of these boxes. A third party comes in, and it's going to look like Via is going to come in and contest the Steppers. We do see some defensive goo come out the way of Sergnal, and we're going to be going in searching for the Steppers.
Yeah, the Via and Steppers are duking it out right now, which means across the map, more likely than not, Bricked and Nether are going to be in entanglement of their own. I'm curious to see exactly how the Nether handle that or which direction they do opt to go. It does look like both teams are taking their fight straight up. Just a hair under a minute left in this lobby. Right now, Brick's set up on ultimate height here. As far as Vegas goes, this is the highest you can get, unless you start building yourself some goo structures, which it looks like they are also doing right on cue. The versatility of the goo is just fantastic. Some great shots out of Ricardo on that ARN. Absolutely no recoil on that thing, but he's kind of caught out in a bit of no man's land here. It looks like he's now going to be opting to go for the third party. split from his team entirely. I don't know if that gateway is going to be able to get anybody over to him. It looks like they are close enough to it. Ricardo now trying to get a stop here, but to no avail. We have 3 teams collapsing over on A, which means Bricks, more likely than not, is going to walk away with this first place finish. Unless Valle can get enough kills here. They are being robbed, but they're going to get the stop, and they're going to find a couple kills. I believe they need 1 more if they want to overtake. They needed 2, and they just weren't able to find it anyway. A bit of a gamble, and it turns out that Bricks is just going to be on the benefiting end of that.
Yeah, I do think I like the idea of Nether going over in third party. I do think it was a little bit too late, and they kind of put their eggs all into one basket over at Bricked, and then decided to try and move them all the way over onto the other
Bricked pulls it out again.
Fortunately for them, they were not able to.
Alright, I'm gonna hop off, make some changes here. I'll be back on probably like an hour or so.
We're gonna see a huge win come the.
What a hotel, right? And only $250.
I will catch you all later.
What? You didn't check Trivago.
I got mine for $155. You have to check Trivago.
Oh yeah, prove it.
On Trivago, you can compare hotel prices from multiple different sites, even your favorite one. Look, same